Hi guys, this is Dr. Brian Opp from Opp Family Chiropractic, and once again, what did 2020 teach us? How really important our overall health is, right? So it's time to take those gloves off, take ownership of our own health and responsibility for the things that we need to do over the next year. So that's why in 2021, to start with, we're gonna talk all things toxins, right? Detox is gonna be the first thing. So why are toxins and detoxification so important? Well, number one, we're bombarded every day with toxins through the food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink, take a shower, all those types of things, and the environmental stuff that comes around us, right? So it's really hard to be non-toxic if we don't help our body get rid of those. So what does those toxins really do to us? Well, number one, they cause us to gain weight. We really like to store toxins in fat cells. Number two, we get hormone imbalances. And number three, then we start to really lose a lot of energy, so that motivation just goes in the toilet. So it's long been said that all disease starts in the gut. So where do you think we really want to get rid of toxins first? Through the gut. So what do these toxins end up creating inside of us? So we really need to get to the root cause. Just saying toxins are bad for us is just going to tell us nothing. So these toxins create leaky gut issues. So the cells in your gut start to separate and become loose, so allowing these toxins to get into the bloodstream, and they can get to wherever they want, making us even more sick and tired. So ways in which these toxins make us sick overall. Production of inflammation, right? These chemicals are things that our body doesn't recognize, and they cause inflammation within our cells. Taking good nutrients and making them into bad nutrients, because our gut will then start to change over from good bugs to bad bugs. Creating more sugars actually in the gut. So you may be limiting sugar, but with all those toxins in you, you actually will create more sugar, more insulin resistance, which causes you to gain more weight. Poisoning of our mitochondria. So our mitochondria are our energy plants within our cells. So they provide us with the energy we need. And slowing the liver detoxification process. So you get an overload, right? So once you get too much overload in the liver, it starts to spill over in the gut, causes inflammation there. And then those are going to get to everywhere like we talked about, and then you store it somewhere. What do we need to do? We need to first stop the damage, right? We need to start eliminating toxins from our life. So number one, we need to eliminate things that we're taking every day. Some of the common things, NSAIDs, so Tylenol, ibuprofen, naproxen, they need to be gone from your life. They're not helping you. They're making you worse. They're making you sick. So we need to be able to find alternatives to that. I really like turmeric. Turmeric has been shown to be very anti-inflammatory. There's a few other things. Enzymes really help with some people. So there's other ways that we can do to help reduce inflammation so that you're not having to suck down a bottle of ibuprofen every week. Next, we need to stop alcohol for 2 weeks. We just got through the holiday. We probably lived it up a little bit more. So we really need to start taking ownership. And most people have a little bit more motivation. And for 2 weeks, we can limit or just get rid of the alcohol for 2 weeks, because that's going to feed a lot of the bad bugs and create more inflammation in our gut. Lastly, we need to stop eating high fructose corn syrup. So anything that isn't real is going to have high fructose corn syrup. During that 2 weeks of elimination, that's when we start really working on the gut. We want to seal up those cells, so we want to use specific nutrients, and a shake that I really like to use is what's called GI Restore. So that will help bind those cells back up and create an environment that's healthier for the good bugs when we plant the seeds. Next, we really need to get rid of any of those infections that might be inside that gut as well, because we don't want those overgrowing as we're trying to eliminate all those other toxins. So some things like oregano oil works really well, berberine, garlic. So there's all sorts of different things that we can use to help eliminate any of those infections that's creating more toxins inside of us and more inflammation. We want to plant those good bugs. Everybody knows about probiotics. You can eat fermented foods if you want, if you don't want to take a probiotic. So a fourth cup of sauerkraut has over 1 trillion good bugs in it. So you could eat a fourth cup of sauerkraut every day if you want, or a couple days a week, right? So there's ways that you can do it without having to take a bunch of supplements. Once we get ourselves eliminating better, getting the gut healthier, we start to add some fiber in there as well, because a lot of times people aren't eating enough fiber. On average, an average American eats about 5 grams or less of fiber per day. We used to eat 75, so we never had any of these issues, right? So constipation with diarrhea, gas, bloating, all these types of things are due to not being able to eliminate. If you eat every day, you should poop every day. So once we get that gut figured out and cleaned up, then we want to work on that liver. Because when we do the liver detox, we want to make sure that some of those toxins are going to get pushed through the colon as well. And we don't want them through a leaky gut and getting all over the place. So we want to be safe with it. So the next 2 weeks after we do 2 weeks with the gut is we're going to do 2 weeks with the liver. So we want to improve what's called phase 2 liver detoxification. So there's 3 phases in the liver. Phase 1, all those toxins come in, so all those fat soluble things that we're coming into contact with, our medications, all sorts of toxins from food, water, air, and anything we put on our body. Okay, so we need to be able to break those down in phase 1 and push it into phase 2. What happens is phase 2 gets really slow in a lot of people because it takes a really good amount of nutrients that most people don't get in their diet. So we really want to drive that phase 2 so things can move easily and they don't start to overload that liver and then get everywhere with inside the body. Okay, so we basically ramp up phase 2, slow down phase 1 a little bit, push it through phase 3 where it's water soluble, and we can then pee it out, and some of the things will go to the colon and we'll get it pooped out as well. So that's the safest way to do it. We drive that process, you start to lose weight, you have more energy, you have more overall health just in general, you have that motivation to go work out, to do other things, right? Then we start to really get better health overall, and we can fight off anything that comes into our body, anything that comes into our environment. Because our cells are healthy, you're gonna be healthy. So let's take the gloves off in 2021, get ourselves healthy through taking some ownership and responsibility for the things that we do each day, and we'll make 2021 a great year.